thank you to our sponsor, MBA Growth Partners.
Hello and welcome to Studio 501c3. I'm your host, Kim Jones, Executive Director of the Nonprofit Village. Our show features nonprofit organizations designated as 501c3 by the IRS for providing a public benefit, and your donations to them are deductible in most cases. Nonprofit Village and Montgomery Community Media are partners on Studio 501c3. It's a proud collaboration featuring our county's excellent nonprofit programs and services. Today's show features the Jewish Coalition Against Domestic Violence, JCADA, a group that supports victims of power-based violence. And joining me is the Executive Director, Amanda Katz. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you, Kim.
So it's good to have you here. This is a serious discussion, but there's a lot more to unpack because I think a lot of people would not know from your name that there's more programs and services than what's just listed there. So you have this kind of very loose coalition of people and organizations, an extensive outreach campaign of awareness about power-based abuse. Can you tell us a little bit about the work of JCADA, the providers, the services, how you work together with others in the community?
Absolutely. Thank you. JCADA has been around for 20 years, and we are working to end power-based violence, empower survivors, and ensure safe communities. The way we work is with direct services and with prevention. So our direct services include trauma-informed counseling, legal help. We have victim advocates who are looking holistically at each case, making sure that people have their essential needs met, like housing, food, shelter, transportation, and access to public benefits. So that's sort of holistically how we handle the clients that we have. And those clients are suffering from we use the umbrella term power-based violence, which includes domestic and interpersonal violence, and it also includes workplace harassment, elder abuse, and stalking. So we do see people in different phases and stages of life who are experiencing a power imbalance that's causing an issue in their life. And so they can call our helpline, and people find us through different referrals, through different agencies, through clergy, through teachers. And the other part of our work is prevention. And prevention, education, and training is really to work ourselves out of a job. What we would ideally like to see is that there's no abuse happening in our community. So we go into schools, we start as young as middle school, talking about healthy relationships and helping teenagers and young adults in middle school, high school, and up into college. What are the red flags in an unhealthy relationship? What does a healthy relationship look like? How to find a trusted adult? And we try to skill build with them so that they can take these skills throughout their life into having healthy relationships.
And when you talk about all of that and you kind of unpack all of that, as I said, that's where you do get to that idea that you are collaborative with other organizations and individuals and service providers. So it really is a coalition. And it may be loose, it may be, formal, but this is that whole concept that it takes the whole community in order to address these needs and everything. Yeah. So that's where that whole collaborative effort comes in. You mentioned the counseling, legal services, among other things. So that's so necessary. It's routine. It's an important and critical part of the work that you would do every day, particularly in violence or abuse prevention. But we have crises, we have pandemics, we have shutdowns, we have other kinds of things, and that can limit, I guess, access, sometimes people's access. What happens in a situation where the access is restricted to someone, who really needs that?
So what we're finding is that people are I call this the perfect storm for domestic violence because you have economic insecurity layered in with social isolation, and you really have people without outlets, both abusers and victims, who are in the home without work and yoga and all the ways that we connect with friends and family to help us sort of for healthy mental health balance. So we find people are calling us from their cars in grocery store parking lots, walk with the dog. We find that, they're just finding moments in their day to reach out. We're also encouraging people, if you have a friend that you're concerned about, to keep checking on them, make a code or a signal with them so they can let you know if they need help. And make sure that you know what that help entails. So some people want a call to the police, but some people may want you to call their JCADA advocate, or they may want you to call a family friend or family member. So making sure that you've talked through with that person what their needs are so that the victim themselves is empowered to get the help that they are looking for.
So I just want to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know that we'll be showing and talking about your website and contact information again later, but can you just indicate what the number is?
Absolutely.
For people
so our helpline is 877-88-JCADA. So it's 877-885-2232. And that's open during business hours. And since the COVID shutdown, we have been forwarding those lines into our staff homes. So helpline is always answered. Then our website is jcada.org, jcada.org, and there you'll find resources for victims and survivors.
There's a lot of resources there, and
community members, and donors.
So we're gonna have to take a quick break, but when we come back, Amanda and I are going to continue to discuss how JCADA helps to educate the community more, prevent future generations from suffering power-based violence. You're watching Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media. Stay with us.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Welcome back to Studio 501c3. I'm Kim Jones, and with me is Amanda Katz, Executive Director of the Jewish Coalition Against Domestic Violence, or JCADA. So we were talking about all of the resources that are available, and your website is packed with a lot of resources. So we know that people can get to that on their phones, computers, a lot of different ways. But you also have a lot of training programs. You have a training program for supporters. So if someone is interested, if a viewer might be interested in participating in some way or helping in some way, tell us a little bit about that and a little bit more about some of the youth training that you're doing.
So if you want to help JCADA, a wonderful way is to get educated on the issues of power-based violence and understand how those dynamics work in our society. And to that end, we created our Friends of JCADA program that's on our website, and you can come to regularly scheduled educational programs. If you are a business owner or leading an institution, we also have a program called Building Better Allies, where we go in and talk to agencies and businesses about creating a safe place for people who are suffering from any type of power-based violence to find that they have someone to talk to there, and that the people who are in charge have the resources that they need to help that person. That the space that they're in is really safe for anyone to come forward who needs help. And then the other piece is that AWARE program for teenagers and young adults.
Good. Okay. So I wanted to follow up because you said for anybody to know, and I think that's important that that the team that you have and the participants and the coalition members and supporters really reach across cultures and races and religions. And I think people need to know that this is not an organization just serving women or just serving people who are Jewish or just serving people who are experiencing violence in the home. As you said, workplace abuse and stalking, is something. There's so many things, but I think it's important that people know that you are working across a lot of cultures.
I appreciate that. Our clients are ages 14 and older in the greater Washington area. So we do cover 3 jurisdictions of DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And 40% of our clients have self-identified with the Jewish faith, but we see people of any faith, of any racial background and gender expression, sexuality. So 92% of our clients have identified themselves as female. And we do also have male clients and people who are non-binary as well.
Okay. So that's good to know. Everybody needs to know that no matter, where they stand in society, that the organization—
This affects everyone.
It does. So we only have a minute left, and I just want to know from you, what's the one thing that you need everyone to know?
That we can't do this alone, that JCADA is really here for the community, but the community also really needs to be here for JCADA. And in order for us to continue to provide these free services that are not time-bound, we really do need community support and engagement. So joining Friends of JCADA, donating, being a part of this movement to end power-based violence is really what we hope everyone can get out of today's talk.
Good. And I think that, again, as people visit the website and learn more, there's a lot there to share and a lot for anybody who needs information, resources, and you can just call. So to find out more about the programs and services, you can visit the website at JCADA.org. That's JCADA.org, correct?
Correct.
All right. So we're about out of time. There's more that we can learn from this in the future, but keep in touch with JCADA and see how you can help so many others in the community. I want to thank you, Amanda, for being with us today.
Thank you, Kim.
Studio 501c3 is your window on nonprofits in Montgomery County. I'm Kim Jones, Executive Director of the Nonprofit Village. Join us next time on Montgomery Community Media for more of Studio 501c3.
The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice? 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in '88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.